Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve, and in this video we're going to talk about the OMPHOBBY ZMO version 2. So if you're not familiar with what a ZMO is, well, a ZMO is a VTOL aircraft. VTOL stands for vertical takeoff and landing, and that's what this baby is, and this is version 2. And I have reviewed version 1 multiple times over the past 3 years, and if you check out my screen, there's all the videos I've made on version 1. So what's new in version 2? Well, first off, they have a brand new long-range digital transmission system here. This camera and these antennas can shoot up to 35 kilometers away in video transmission and telemetry. And that new digital video system is called the Edge Smart Drive T3. It's very popular. It just came out about 2 months ago, so there's tons of videos on it if you want to see how to configure it and set it up, but this baby has it. Another new feature that you're going to see in this video is it does have precision return to home. So you could be flying miles away and you hit this little switch, it will fly back to you, it will come down to the proper altitude, it will circle around you, then it will make a landing coming in nice and straight and then stop and turn into quadcopter mode and come straight down. You'll see it in this video, it's pretty cool. They have changed the motors and they have changed the servos inside, much more powerful, much stronger, and because the motors and everything else is all changed and it's more efficient, you can go up to 150, maybe even faster, 150 kilometers an hour. I'll put what that is in miles per hour on the screen. If you're a really techie person, you can get into waypoints and route planning and have this thing fly autonomously out and do all its flying and come back to you. I have not tried it, and I have not even dug into the software on this unit. But if you do go into the software, you can actually take the stability off and you can do aerobatics just like a real RC plane when flying this guy. In addition to the FPV camera, you can still add a GoPro up front or some other action camera if you desire. You'll see me do it in this video. And the final thing I want to say is everything comes in that case in the back, and it does come in 3 versions, and I have the version that is ready to fly, RTF, and I suggest you all buy the same version because the other versions require you to have some knowledge on programming a radio and setting up a binding and installing your own system. But if you get the ready to fly kit like I did, everything is ready to go out of the box. And when I say ready to go, I mean ready to fly. You just take this out of the box and go fly it after you charge up the included battery. And you don't even have to do a compass calibration. Huge GPS unit back here, locks in, very precise, no compass calibration required, just go fly. So that's what I did for my maiden flights, and you can check it out here. So I'm out at my field, and this is going to be the maiden flight of the ZMO version 2 for the year 2025. So if you look back here, what is that? That would be the ZMO. Let's go check it out. So down here we have the ZMO version 2, and I have placed it on a landing pad so that when it flies back and lands, we know how close it returns to where it took off from. And then up here, we have my Jeep. Let's get close to the Jeep. As we approach my Jeep, you're gonna notice a pile of gadgetry. So this is so I can bring you all this video. So up here, this is the ground station that comes with it. It's up there, and on the back of the ground station, it comes with a receiver plugged in. I think it's an ELRS receiver, and you can see the little yellow antennas that I have up there. Anyways, you can see the antennas, kind of 2 antennas at the back, plugged into the ground station. It goes right into the S-Bus portion. Then on the bottom of the ground station, there's an HDMI out, which is USB-C, and I have an HDMI cable coming all the way down here, all the way down, 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 and it goes up to my Ninja. And my Ninja is going to show me what the camera sees on the ZMO, so I can just stare at it with my eyeballs. It also records the image so that I can play it back to you. Then from my Ninja, you follow this cable all the way down again, and we come over here to my Sky Zone FPV goggles. These are really cheap, inexpensive goggles. I don't know how much they cost, but they were cheap when I bought them. And they actually have an HDMI input at the bottom. So if I need to put goggles on to fly FPV style, well, I'll put these ones on and we'll see how it does. And then over here we have the TX12, and I've labeled all the switches because I have no idea what they mean or what functions they do. But now that I've labeled them, I have a pretty good idea of what they do. But we're gonna find out when I go fly this baby. Here we go. So on the front, right here is the camera that comes with this unit for FPV. It's right here, and it sends a signal through these antennas and the whole system back to my Jeep. This over here is a GoPro Hero 12, I think I stuck in there. It's designed for GoPro, so you can put a GoPro in it. So right now I'm just going to turn the GoPro on. It's a GoPro Hero 12, and I'm going to hit record. It's recording. It should record for about an hour, so we should have plenty of flight time here. GoPro sees me and sees Jedi Steve up there with the camera. Put the covers back on. Now I'm going to plug it in. It's going to get satellites back here. If I turn on this radio, it's really not connected to this yet. I have to turn everything on in my Jeep, so let's go. All right, so let's turn this unit on. And of course I can't see what I'm doing. That was a bad idea to put it so high. Jedi Steve, if I fall, get out of the way. I have to go up here. There's two buttons. I have to find the one that says power. If I hit the other one, things go bad. The fan should come on. There we go. It's pretty cool. This is self-powered. So there's a fan in it.
Good, good.
And as soon as you power, oh, you still got me? Yeah. As soon as you power this on, it energizes the HDMI cable so that this will now understand the signals coming to it. So I'm gonna go turn on my Ninja. I don't know if you can see this in my hat cam. You can see it. It's a beautiful image. It's very bright, but the background's very bright too. Steve, I don't know if you can see that. Here, I'll grab your camera. There you go. You probably can't see it, but the Ninja is very bright, and that's how I'm going to fly it at first. So the goggles didn't go on. Hang on. I thought I turned this off last night, but I guess I didn't. I must have left it on, and the battery's dead. Going up, Steve. Starting motors. To start the motors, just pull them down and out, and they should do something. There we go. And then release, and then move the left joystick up. If it's got GPS, you'll sit and hover. There you go. So to me, from back here, Jedi Steve, how's it look?
Looks good.
She's hovering in place. Let's see if I can yaw it. So I can yaw it. Yeah, the GPS has got it there. And if I look at my display, I can see what's happening. So now I'm going to turn on the record on my display. So I've turned on the record on this unit, the Ninja. And the Ninja is what I got to use to fly this baby when it gets way up there. Going up, Steve. I've got it on full up. That's as fast as it goes up. It's very, very designed for beginners. So I'm going to take it forward a bit. There's a lady with a dog down there. I will wait until she's out of the way. I'm looking on my little display. So I'm looking at this unit and I'm trying to see height. Oh, I'm way up there now. I got to be high enough. Okay, ready, Steve? I got to look up at it. Okay, I'm going to flick this button into forward flight. I'm going to put the throttle in the center. Here we go.
FPWA mode.
There we go. We're moving forward.
Yeah. I'm a flying baby. Let's look at my screen. Look at the display. I'm putting it back to 50% throttle, no less, because the instructions say if you put it at a low throttle, it could stall. So now you should have video from the onboard camera. If I don't touch the joystick, it should be pretty, well, relatively smooth flying. I'm going to yaw it to the left. So I'm going to move the right joystick to the left, and that will cause the ailerons to move in such a fashion that I actually start flying to the left, coming back in a circle. I'm going to come back over us, Steve. Since I don't have my FPV goggles on, I don't know how I'm flying, but it's very easy to fly it looking at this display. I'm aiming right at us and I'm bringing it down. All I have to do in order to bring it down, you just push the right joystick forward.
Okay, I see where you are. Okay, I see it. Yeah, you're with it, kid.
Yeah, so I'm going to sort of dive bomb us a little bit. We're going to go sideways here. There you go, you should see it. We're going to go over, then I'll turn to the left. Get nice and low. Very quiet. See it?
I see it.
There we go.
I lost it behind the trees. You're very low, Steve, actually.
You know what? I'm very low, actually.
Yeah, you might want to go up.
I might want to go up.
20 feet, yeah.
Yeah, I'm bringing it back up. All right, so what I'm going to do next is we're going to try out some of these other switches. So right now, in the switch I'm in, it's stability flight. And it's basically flying itself. I just have to move the right joystick and use the left joystick for throttle to go slower or faster. Speaking of that, a lot of people want to know how fast this can go, so let me bring it up, because it looks like I'm going at the ground again. I'm increasing throttle as I bring it up. And I'm gonna come back high speed.
I would stay about that height.
Okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So now, I'm gonna stabilize it, and I'm gonna yank the throttle to the front.
Right.
This is full speed, Steve.
Yeah, you're right into the sun now. I gotta wait till you pass it.
It's full speed. I don't know what it says on my display.
I don't know if you have speed readout, but you're going fast.
If I had the FPV goggles on, I would fly lower. So I'll just aim back towards the school, slow it down. And I see Jock is flying a plane. I will come bring it down and then bring it back up. So you should see it, Steve. We're coming down.
I got it.
I'm doing the sharpest turn I can. I've got it at 50% throttle now. And
nice.
I'm going to try cruise. So there's a switch on here for cruise. Where is it right here? Stability flight, cruise flight. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Cruise mode.
So now in cruise mode, it should remember everything I just left it at, and it's going to keep flying. So I could put down this radio here, and yeah, then I could put on my goggles. Right now it's in cruise. So
It's a nice speed.
So she's just going over, and I don't see it. I'm trying to look for it. Oh, there it is up in the sky, way up there. And I should still be able to fly it. Yeah, I could turn it to the left. So basically when you put it in cruise mode, you're just using the right joystick. It can't stall and it won't go high speed. So we know that works. I'm gonna take it off of cruise flight. I'm gonna regain full control. Cruise flight off. I'm gonna do return to home. We'll see if she lands. Return to home, here we go.
RTL mode.
It's sort of like a GPS rescue. So it should be flying itself. So it's flying itself. Apparently what it should do is start doing circles around us and then go into quadcopter mode and land. So I'm not doing anything, not touching any joysticks, nothing. If it looks like it's gonna do something bad, let me know. I'm gonna flick the switch.
I'm just worried about the tree line. I don't know if it spirals down slowly or...
I think so. Is it getting low? Oh, it's coming over us now.
Yeah,
it's coming back.
I got a good visual on it. I'll tell you if it does something funky.
Okay, let's see if she goes. It should go into quadcopter mode.
Yeah, right now she's lined up perfectly.
Oh, she's going into quadcopter mode.
Yeah,
I see it.
Yeah. So far,
there we go. Quadcopter, and it did it.
Yeah, so far it's working very good.
Oh, that's awesome. So I haven't touched a thing. Let's see if she lands on the yellow pad. That'd be cool if it does. Or does it land on the Jeep? There's return to home and then there's crazy return to home.
No, it's still positioning. I think we're still good.
Okay. It's got a really accurate GPS in this new version. You don't have to do compass calibration or nothing. You just out of the box and fly like I did. But check it out, Steve.
That's pretty accurate.
That is accurate as heck.
Very accurate.
Look at that.
That's quite impressive, actually.
Yeah, so I'm sitting back here. Oh, this is cool. So this is pretty decent technology, I would say. Look at that. And does it shut off? And the motor should shut off. They shut off. Nice. We're going to test out the battery to see after that flight. Okay, what's it say? It keeps switching 59 and 60 because it's still plugged in.
Still definitely good for another 10 minutes.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, Steve, you can take it for a flight.
All right, Steve, my turn. Let's get her going.
So Jedi Steve took the ZMO for a 10-minute flight, had a great time. I did not record the video, so I have nothing to show you, but I can let you hear what he had to say after he landed.
Yeah, and that screen is, the feed is nice and constant. Yeah. Beautiful image all the time.
What did you think since you got the mic on?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. Very accurate, fun to fly. I need more stick time on it to do a little more manual flying, because there is a manual mode, which we didn't try today. But so far, I'm impressed with the technology. All
right, you're back to me, and I want to show you what you get when you buy the ZMO Ready to Fly kit. Check this out. So you get this huge carry case, and everything you need is in here. It comes in the mail or by delivery, and you've got everything you need. So let me open this up and show you. So here it is here. You've got the plane inside. It's in pieces. It's very easy to assemble. You also have the remote. It comes with that. You also have the ground station, the digital camera. All the goodies are in here. The only thing you're missing is your display or goggles, whatever you want to use. So let me put this huge box down and assemble the plane right before your eyes. So you get a wing, and you get another wing, and you get the fuselage. The main body and the wings connect to this very quickly, and they're very sturdy. So you have these little cables that stick out. You just plug these cables into the holes in the wings. I'll show you. So you got the body and you have a wing. You just match up the holes, you put everything together, and you plug in that cable. And when the cable's in place, push everything together. There we go. And there's a latch system on top right here. Push this in the wing and then click it down. There we go. And it's locked. Then the next thing you do is remove this cover here. Just pull it off, and that's where you're going to put your battery. A battery is included. It's a 6S battery at 4,400 milliamp hours. And the connector on the battery is an XT60 as well as inside. So in other words, you can use your own batteries. Now for the newbies out there who have never flown an RC plane before, one thing you have to know when you fly a plane is the center of gravity, called CG. those little markings under the wing to get the CG correct. But I'll tell you right now how it works. If you do not put a GoPro in the front, up here inside there, you do not put one, then take this battery and stick it any place in the center. If you put a GoPro up front, it's going to make it very nose heavy. Take this battery and move it as far to the rear as you can, and your CG will be correct. Other items included would be your radio, your TX12. This radio comes already bound to your ZMO, and it's already programmed for the ZMOs, so it's all programmed inside. However, none of the switches are labeled because it's a generic radio that you can use with anything. Helicopters, planes, drones, cars, tanks, boats, anything you want. So they did not label the switches, and also since this product is sold all around the world, it would be silly to label the switches because English is common, but maybe not everybody wants English on the radio. So as you can see here, I have labeled the switches, and I don't know if that focuses well, but I'll try not to move it too much. You can see that's what the switches do in the 3 positions. In addition, if I flip it this way, you could see over here is your compass calibration switch. Never, never turn that on. I say that because you never do a compass calibration on any product in the year 2025 unless the product asks for it. If you go and do a compass calibration, you're liable to mess things up. And finally, on the other side, there's a few more switches here with labels. But honestly, you only really need to use the switches on top. And to help you out when you're flying, because you can't be looking at your switches all the time when you flick them, the voices are already programmed.
Q Loiter Mode. FPWA Mode. Q Stabilize Mode. Cruise Mode. RTL Mode.
You also get a manual for the radio. It's very generic because the radio is very generic. You also get manuals for the Edge system, the digital transmission system. If you have no idea about digital transmission systems, these might as well be written in Chinese, but if you're quite the techie person, these will make perfect sense to you. You also receive plenty of spare cables unless you want to program things, even an Ethernet cable in case you want to do something pretty fancy with your Edge system. You do receive an HDMI cable, which goes to USB-C, which is what you're going to need to watch the image in your FPV goggles or on your display. And finally, you receive the Edge Smart Drive T3 system. The antennas may not be on it. You just screw them on. They're pretty simple to screw on. If you get a little receiver in this kit and you don't know what to do with it, the receiver plugs into this system. There's only one spot you can plug it in. You can see I've already plugged it in here. The receiver's on the back. I believe it's an ELRS receiver because this is an ELRS radio. So I'll try to explain this really quick because a lot of you may not understand this, but pay attention really quick. Watch my lips. This radio connects to this receiver, this little receiver in the back. This receiver connects to the ground station, this thing with the antennas. This ground station is what communicates with the ZMO and gets the video and the telemetry that comes back to you 35 kilometers away. So wherever you place this ground system, you have to be flying your ZMO away from it. Don't point it this way with the antennas going this way and then go try to fly 35 kilometers that way. It won't work. You have to fly 35 kilometers out that way. Now, to get a signal from the ground station into your FPV goggles, so I have my Sky Zones here, or into some sort of display you want to use, it's pretty simple. You just take their cable, USB-C, and you plug it in, and that goes to HDMI, and the HDMI you plug into your goggles, or you plug it into your display. Say you don't have goggles with the HDMI input, or you don't have a display with HDMI input. This also shoots out a Wi-Fi signal, and you can connect to it via Wi-Fi. But I've never tried the Wi-Fi, so don't ask me any questions on that, because everybody's got HDMI, so it's too simple to connect HDMI to any device you have. Next, let me explain what you just saw in my demo video. Did you notice it was different video images I was showing you from different cameras? And you're wondering, I don't understand what all that stuff was. Well, let me explain it really quick. So this little camera here is your digital FPV camera. It sends a signal back to your goggles or your display, which is through the ground station, through these little antennas. It's very confusing and it's magical, but it comes back and you get this beautiful display so you can see where you're flying and this huge OSD layered over top. OSD stands for on-screen display. Now you probably saw that OSD, and there's a lot of numbers and everything else and a lot of data on the screen, but you need that when you're flying because it gives you a lot of feedback. So let me explain what you saw on the screen. So here you see the on-screen display as I'm flying the ZMO, and you will see this in your FPV goggles or your digital on-screen display that you're staring at like I did. So I'm going to draw a circle around everything as I tell you what it is. So on the top left we have a battery voltage, and that is the voltage for the battery that's in the ZMO. Next you have the speed. How fast are we flying forward? Next you have these cool little bars that show you the pitch of the aircraft. Am I going up, down, sideways, what? Then you have the horizon showing on the screen, so just in case you can't see the horizon or you're upside down or something weird is going on, you can figure out where you are. Next we have the number of satellites that the ZMO is receiving, as well as the temperature of the video transmission system. Next we have the distance from home. And then we have how much throttle power am I giving it with the left joystick. Here we can see what flight mode I'm in. We can see the time since I armed the motors. And here we can see the distance that I've flown on the route so far. Next we can see our overall height off the ground, and then our longitude and latitude. Here we can see our micro SD card that's inside the ZMO that is recording video, how much capacity is remaining. Next, the very important one if you're going to fly a long distance, your transmission quality. And at the very top, you can see the compass direction of flight. And then on the screen, moving all over the place, is a circle with an H in the center. That is always pointing back to where home point is. Now, this FPV camera connects itself to a transmission system inside, and that transmission system takes a micro SD card. So you can actually record video from this camera onto that micro SD card. If you record the video, you do not get the on-screen display. You get an image that looks like this. So this is the video that the micro SD card recorded while you were flying. There's no stability in the image, so as your ZMO bounces around in the air, your image will bounce around in the air. Next, if you take this forward section off the ZMO, you can then fit a GoPro in it or other action camera. My GoPro Hero 12 fits perfectly in there. It's a nice tight fit. It's kind of snug, and this cover fits nicely over the front like that. And if you record with something like a GoPro Hero 12, well, then your video is stabilized because GoPro stabilizes the image. And also this Hero 12 and anything higher can record at 5K at 60 frames per second. So the video you're seeing right now is from the GoPro recorded at 5K 60 frames per second. So if you want to do a lot of filming with the ZMO, you have to put your own camera in it to get high quality video, or else you're going to end up with OSD all over your video, or a video that looks okay, but it's not stabilized. But if you want stabilized video, put an action camera and record with that. Next thing I want to mention is, once again, for newbies. If you're not too familiar with flying a VTOL product, you have to know how to fly it like a quadcopter. It flies just like a DJI drone, and then you have to transition it into an RC plane. The great thing is the ZMO has stability built into the quadcopter, just like a DJI drone, and it has stability built into the RC plane. So it's made for newbies. Newbies can fly this. The only thing you have to know that I'm going to tell everybody who's new at flying is when you go fly, take this switch over here and put it in the center.
View Loiter Mode.
So when you're in that position, it means this GPS, can you see it? This GPS unit up here is in use. And what it does is, as you saw in my video, when you take off, this will stay stable in the air. It doesn't matter if there's wind blowing in, anything. It's going to sit perfectly still. And then you can just move the left joystick up and it will fly straight up. And then when you get up high enough, all you do is take this switch, pull it straight down.
FPWA mode.
And it's going to fly forward like a rocket, and it's going to be stabilized. All you have to do is take this right joystick and you can move it to the right or the left when you're flying. If you want to go into the ground and crash, push this up, it will come down to the ground, diving. If you want to go up higher, pull it back. So you see I'm pretty much only using the right joystick. This is a Mode 2 radio. For the left joystick, you just leave it in the center. That's your throttle, your speed. So never let it fall to the bottom, or else your little plane will probably fall out of the sky. So you leave it in the center, and that will give you about 50% throttle, which is probably going to send you flying at 80 kilometers per hour. That's about half speed. Then if you want to talk to somebody while you're flying and you want to take your fingers off the joysticks and make sure it doesn't fall out of the sky, with the throttle getting accidentally knocked or anything like that, all you do is you flick the switch over on this side to cruise mode. And cruise mode is in the center. So let's switch it to the center.
Cruise mode.
There you go. So now the plane is cruising. You can still move it left or right, but it reduces its speed to a moderate speed and it just flies super stable. And finally, when you're far away or even close to yourself, you switch that same switch that you went for cruise mode all the way down, and that's going to make this return to home, fly over you, reduce height, come down and land right where it took off. You just press it down.
RTL mode.
That's it. I know they say RTL, return to landing, instead of return to home. Anyways, it does the same thing. And then finally, you didn't see it in this video because I didn't show you the switch position, but if you take this switch that's in the front and you push it all the way up, it's going to go into loiter mode. So what loiter mode is it means this plane, the VTOL, is just going to fly around you in a circle, way up high in a circle, and it's going to wait for your next command. So I hope that makes sense to everybody looking at buying this product. It's pretty simple to use when you know how. And the final thing I want to say is for the advanced users out there, you can go into software and program the flight controller to do all sorts of things. And you can see I've taken the cover off the flight controller. You can see it back here. There's your flight controller. And this little baby has all sorts of input ports. And the people out there who know a lot about the RC hobby and configuring items know when they look at this, they know exactly what it means. And over here for the flight controller and programming is a USB-C input. Right, you probably can't see it. It's right here. Plug your cable into that, the other end into your laptop or your PC. Run the, what's it called? Ardu Pilot software. And you can set up missions and planning and remove some of the restrictions this has. You can do all sorts of things. And when I look at the documentation for this baby, it does support multiple protocols. However, I do not know what any of those protocols mean because I'm not into that part of the advanced RC hobby. So now let me give you my positives and negatives about this baby. The first positive is that it's designed for beginners or designed for people that don't have a lot of knowledge or experience. You can easily get this up and running, no problem. It's also very fun and it's also very safe. Another thing I love about this is the battery is not proprietary. I can use my own 6S battery, so I don't have to buy a ton of batteries from the company. Sure, one comes with it, but that's all I need. The rest I can buy off of Amazon or use my own. And finally, it has a ton of technology in it. Oh my God, does it have a lot of technology. So for me, that's pretty cool because all that tech really makes for a fun, enjoyable moment. Now let me give you my negatives. First negative, for many of you watching this video, it's got way too much tech. Your probably eyes are glassed over or something. Another negative is that with the ZMO 1 and now with the ZMO 2, you see these props? And these props, you got 3 of them. They don't give you 3 spare props. There's no spare props in the kit. Have I ever broke a prop? Well, on the ZMO 1, yes, I broke the prop once, and it was in a video that I have on the ZMO 1. I crashed into the ground, but that was my fault. And I had to order spare props. So spare props do not come with this. And the reason they don't give you spare props is because when you take off and land, the motors are like this. They're not hitting anything. They're never like this. That's flying like an airplane. So the odds of you hitting the ground with the motors like this, you would have to purposely fly it into the ground. So they're like, wow, you don't need spare props because nobody's going to be that foolish. So if you think you're going to do it, you may want to order some spare props. And my last negative is this Edge T3 ground station. It's pretty sophisticated. So the positive is it's sophisticated. It's got its own internal battery. You charge it up and it runs for 3 or 4 hours and you don't have to use any other external power source, and it shoots out HDMI, it shoots out Wi-Fi, all these things. It can shoot long range, 35 kilometers. But do you see any place on this unit that has a tripod mount? No, it's just a box. So it was up to me to use some duct tape and duct tape it to a antenna, stick it up in the air. All right, so we've come to the end of the video. I just want to say the following. If you're watching this video in the month of May in the year 2025, then this product is already sold out. Yep, it's sold out. So you have to pre-order it and they'll ship it to you in June. So if you really want one, if my video made you all excited and you really want one, I would suggest ordering one now so you're first in line to get one when the new products come in and they're shipping them out. And the link to where you can buy it is right here just below this video. Click on that link and you will be able to order one. All right, so that's it. If you have questions on this product, well then post them below and I will get back to you with the limited knowledge I have using this thing. I will say it's a lot of fun, but it's, you know, when it gets to technical specifications, I might be a little weak there because I only use it out of the box and I fly it just like a beginner would. But more importantly, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. And I will catch you in a future video with many more cool product reviews. Until then, I say bye.